But the field now coasting their way around into turn 16. Curva Misano to get the last race of the weekend underway. Norbert Kish looks to the left-hand side, just identifies who he's got in front of him, who might make a good start and who might not. But it's Teo Calvé that's going to determine the pace. Andre Kurzim alongside him. And the fourth and final race of the weekend, the opening weekend of the 2022 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, is underway, and there's already contact. Andre Kurzim goes nowhere. Adam Lachko piles into the back of him, rips the front end off the Freightliner. And Andre Kurzim, well, he's been freight trained and he's gone completely to the back. He must have some sort of problem as he stepped on it. There's contact between Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kish there as they go through turn one. The two of them end up on the inside of the first chicane. Teo Calvé's had a free pass here to try and break away. Steffi Halm trying to go with him. This is on board with Norbert Kish. Jochen Hahn surely around here somewhere. Adam Lachko on right-hand side as Norby tries to squeeze the gap around the outside of turn four. Gets a big old clout in the right-hand side from somebody. I'd put my money on that being Jochen Hahn. The two of them fighting together, but Teo Calvé leads the race. Great start from him. He didn't have to worry about Andre Kurzim's problems. And it does look like Norbert Kish, Anthony Janiak and Jochen Hahn all getting into a big scrap together. That's a big old lock-up for Steffi Halm. She goes straight on at turn 8. And look at that. Fantastic stuff by Sasha Lenz. He's gone from 6th up to 2nd in a matter of corners. Jochen Hahn now having to defend from Anthony Janiak. Norbert Kish is very importantly in front of Jochen right now, and that's what he wanted to do early on in this race. Behind them, you've got Jose Rodriguez looking down the inside as well. Fantastic opening lap by a number of these guys. Antonio Alberthetti there having a go at Adam Lachko just ahead of us as we ride on board with Norbert Kish. Norby moving this way and that way, trying to defend from one, then the other. And Fass is still apparently in the pit lane, so he hasn't actually gone back out on the circuit, which is a big shame. So not quite sure what's going on there, but listen to these things roar their way down into turn 13. And oh no, Teo Calvé's gone straight on at turn 13, rejoins at 14, and Sasha Lenz has got the lead. Sasha Lenz from 6th on the grid takes the lead at the end of lap 1. Unbelievable stuff. Sasha really going about this one. Well, he may have had some horrible words to say about his engine and his clutch earlier on, telling it to... I'm not even going to repeat it, but he has actually nailed this race start. Brilliant stuff to see. There's bits of truck all over the place already. Adam Lachko's truck looks like it's ready to end the weekend early. 2 Bagheera ZM trucks in the top 4. Teo Calvé now trying it on around the outside of Sasha Lenz. He's then got to think about defending from Steffi Halm. Teo's still got his nose down the inside there. Just about missing the back of Sasha Lenz. The start is under investigation. I imagine that's something to do with Andre Kurzim. He was 21 seconds off the pack. Adam Lachko now down the inside of Steffi Halm. Big lock-up, though, from the Freightliner. Massive amounts of smoke, and I'm expecting to see the order shuffled up. Yes, and Antonio Alberthetti's gone through. Antonio says, well, muchas gracias, and off he goes. Up into 3rd place. Lachko now 4th. Halm 5th. Then it's Jochen Hahn, who has got back ahead of Norbert Kish after all of that fighting earlier. I can bet you that Jochen has given as good as he got there and chucked it back down the inside. He's going to try and overtake his teammate Steffi Halm. The two of them teaming up again this season, I should say, as Die Bullen von Iveco. And has Norbert Kish got a problem? Has Norby got an issue? Because he's suddenly fallen prey to Anthony Janiak there, where he looked like he went into the corner considerably ahead of him. Whoa, big lock up in the background there. Who was that going straight on? Oh, it was Adam Lachko. He's had another lock up. This time he doesn't take Steffi Halm with him. She says, get out on that dust, son. Wow. Gives him absolutely no room to come back on. If you thought a normal everyday racing car kicked up a lot of dust when it went in the gravel, you should see how much comes off the circuit or comes back onto the circuit when these trucks go off. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying this massively. You could probably tell. Norbert Kish then right up behind Adam Lachko, trying to look for the move. But look at Sasha Lenz. He's loving this right now, I imagine. hopefully no further issues with his gearbox. And Norby's having to defend like mad here, but big train behind him, chasing him down. He's got Jose Rodriguez and Rene Reiner behind Anthony Janiak there. Shane Brayton's made it up into 11th place after starting 15th, so he's made good progress. He's not into the top 10 positions yet for overall points. He needs to just make one more spot up on Rene Reiner to start getting those on the board. It's not something we're used to, though, to see Norbert Kish floundering in the middle of the pack here, with trucks queuing up behind him to have a go. They must have had some sort of contact that's caused an issue for him. Andre Kurzim has come back into the pits. There's a look at the start again. You can see the damage on Adam Lachko's truck from the very beginning. Now, Jochen Hahn having a go here at Antonio Albacete. At Le Mans last year, when the two of them finished first and second, Jochen described them as the old guys. But they're still there fighting and still enjoying their racing. Norbert Kish surely has a problem, though, after the earlier contact. I would love to have seen what happened between Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kish to swap that position back. But the whole field continues to filter their way around. But look at this, yeah, Norby's having to defend very, very much so now from everybody queuing up behind him. Anthony Janiak, the first of them. This is Stefan Faas in the 24 Scania. Very much on his own right now, unfortunately. But at least he's still out there on circuit. He'll still score points in the Promoters' Cup as long as he finishes the race. And for him, that'll be the main goal this season, to get that Scania right up there in the title fight. Sasha Lenzo doing everything he needs to do right now. Teo Calve holding on for what's going to be a good second place if he can continue to hold it. But when you've got a queue of Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn, Steffi Helm and Adam Lachko behind you, it is a difficult bunch of people to hold off. And in the pit lane, after another difficult start to the race, is Andre Kurzim with Christina, I believe.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. What happened during that first lap?
Our throttle pedal is broken.
So no chance to get off?
No. It's over for today.
Absolutely, so no chance to get that fixed, to get out, of course. How devastated are you?
Yes, I will say it's Misano 2.0. It was a very bad weekend for us. Yes. Should have it.
So heads up, and I hope to see you next race weekend then with a better mood.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, you can see here, he's absolutely devastated, and I can fully understand that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not easy when you have a technical issue with the vehicle. You know, it's nothing that the driver has done wrong at all, but we saw that the truck just didn't get going off the start. Apologies once again for the language, though, there, everybody. I mean, these guys love swearing in interviews, don't they? But, you know, they don't back down from speaking their minds. They absolutely love doing that, and we love them for it, you know. It's great to hear the honest opinions of these drivers, and, you know, it is one of those moments where, I have to agree, regardless of what Andre said there. I have to agree. You know, these things in motorsport, they do happen sometimes. And last year was an absolute nightmare of a race meeting for them as well. At the end of the season, he retired from races 1 and 3, didn't even start race 2. And then when he did make it out onto the grid for race 4, he finished 13th. So absolutely 0 points. And he lost a position in the championship to Steffi Helm, who scored a podium that weekend. Norbert Kish is very, very much here struggling to hold on against Anthony Janiak, and we saw how much Anthony likes to get his elbows out earlier. Norby needs to watch his mirrors right now, and I've said it a few times already, but there's definite lasting effects from the contact he had earlier. There is the Teo Calve train, the Teo train. Once again, we used to see the Trulli train in Formula 1, but we've got 2 packs of 5 here. Teo Calve and Norbert Kish, very much the locomotives, the diesel locomotives at the front of these quintets. You can see a number of the trucks all fanning out behind Teo Calve to make sure that they don't sit in the slipstream. It's very much all of the sort of white and blue and white and orange trucks in this pack, is it not? Teo Calve, Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn, Steffi Helm and Adam Lachko. Jochen trying to get past Antonio, who isn't making too many advances on getting past Calve right now. But Teo doesn't have too much to worry about in the Promoters' Cup. He's still leading that by a long shot. And we go back down to Christina.
Yes, he still got his clothes on, but unfortunately was not able to race. What happened?
Wir hatten im letzten Rennen einen Turboladerschaden und haben jetzt probiert, über die kurze Pause den Turbolader zu erneuern. Wir haben den Turbolader zwar reingeschraubt bekommen, teilweise, aber nicht komplett fertig. Das Auto hat jetzt keine Leistung. Und jetzt sind wir quasi eine Runde gefahren und hab direkt festgestellt, dass die Leistung komplett fehlt, der Turbolader nicht richtig arbeitet und somit habe ich mich dafür entschieden, hier draußen einfach rauszufahren, um nicht einen größeren Schaden zu produzieren.
So I'm going to translate that had a turbo damage and they were trying to fix that. They had a new one and they all screwed it in almost, and that was the problem. So it was not working properly, and so the engine couldn't get that power he needed. And then he decided, okay, I cannot compete today. Does not make sense. Maybe we destroy more on the truck, then it would really help. So unfortunately, he's out.
Thank you very much, Christina. Great stuff, as always, to hear from the drivers and see what's going on. You can see now, though, that the battle has very much changed here for second place. Antonio Albertetti has got past Teo Calve, and now Jochen Hahn wants to make his way through as well. I think the two of them just made contact for a second there, going into Curva Misano at turn 16. And I think Jochen Hahn, no, he's not actually ahead. I thought he might have gone down the inside and made it through. But as you heard about Stefan Fast, turbo damage and keeping the truck out there on track, well, it would have harmed it more than it would have fixed it. So they've decided to pull the plug on today and the race weekend as Jochen Hahn and Teo Calve make contact. Steffi Halm wants to go down the inside, but she's having more contact with Adam Lachko with whatever the hell's left of the front of his truck. And again, Steffi comes back on, says no thank you. Adam, get over there. And that looks like it's actually let the front right tyre down on Lachko's truck. I think that front right tyre is completely deflated after that second bit of contact. I've luckily, thanks to Smart Witness as ever, I've actually been sent the footage of the opening laps, and it was Adam Lachko, Antonio Albertetti and Norbert Kish that were all three wide into the first chicane. So Antonio has been hit into the side of Norby, and then that has made some sort of massive dent in the side of Norby's truck, and that's obviously what's affected his pace. There's no pace affected here, says Jochen Hahn, throws it down the inside of Teo Calve. He continues to move forward, and he knows that this is important now. If he wants to fight with Norbert Kish in the championship, he needs to score big points when Norbert is not doing so. And you can see he's really struggling. He's made very, very heavy contact with the two penalty markers. Those poor things. Absolutely flattened there. But Norbert will not be too happy with this one. René Reiner moves in on him a little bit there. Makes a bit of contact as they go up towards turns 9 and 10. And this is them on the exit. I imagine René Reiner, he's either off the road or he's around here somewhere. But Norbert Kish clearly suffering in some way here, down to 7th position in this race. I say down to, he started 8th on the grid. As we have Adam Lachko there at the side of the road. That is on the exit of turn 6. That's on the back straight. And unfortunately, after that extra bit of contact there with Steffi Halm, Adam is out of the race. A bit of a tough weekend for Adam, actually. He retired in one of the earlier races, didn't he? Finished the first race of the weekend in 5th. He then retired from race 2 and then had another 5th place in the 3rd race of the weekend earlier on today. Antonio Albertetti then back up into 2nd position. Jochen Hahn in 3rd. The old guys, as they call themselves. Teo Calve with more bodywork hanging off that truck than I don't know what to talk about. Bits and bobs of it all out of shape and battered. It's been a tough weekend for Bagheera. They had 2 of their trucks, pretty sure yesterday in the 2nd race, starting on the 2nd row of the grid. They did. It was Calve from Lachko on the 2nd row. But we have a number of them still circulating. We've just lost 3 of them so far. But this man, well, he's more than circulating, isn't he? Sasha Lenz doing a fantastic job leading this race. Started 6th on the grid. By the end of lap 1, he was in the lead, and, well, he's not looked back since then, has he? Thanks once again to Smart Witness for sending me footage of the manoeuvre from Jochen Hahn overtaking Norbert Kish. He did it on the start-finish straight a little bit earlier on. Kish clearly having problems getting the truck out of the corners quickly. It seems to be that initial punch on corner exit that he's having problems with. But Sasha Lenz, well, a driver that won 4 races last season and had a very, very big tally of 11 podiums come the end of it. He's looking good to take his first win of this season in the first race meeting. He won the very first race, actually, in 2021 at the Hungaroring after a retirement for Norbert Kish. He then finished second in the third race and then 6th again after that one. He was on the podium in at least one race at every race meeting last year. Just shows you how consistent and how fast he always is. Teo Calve holding on ahead of Steffi Halm right now as well, doing a great job there. Norbert Kish continues to hold René Reiner, Jose Rodriguez, Shane Brereton, Thomas Robineau all at bay. Sasha Lenz's SL Truck Sport 30 machine looking very, very good right now. And look at that, kicking the back end out, really using the oversteer to his advantage through the chicane. A couple of years ago, I never in my life thought I'd see anybody ever drift the back end of a truck out around a racing track, but here I am. That's Jamie Anderson and Clemens Hecker. Those two 12th and 13th at the moment, only separated by a couple of lengths. Fighting away towards the back of the pack, but still fighting for points. Those two are both in the Chrome category, racing in the Promoters' Cup. And Anthony Janiak doing well, actually. He's in 6th position right now. Started 10th on the grid in this one. And there you go. There's a drive-through penalty for Jose Rodriguez for hitting the penalty markers for the 3rd time. And that's going to actually drop him down out of a podium spot in the Promoters' Cup. And I've been sent more footage actually showing Sasha Lenz's race start, where it was an absolute corker. He got a really good run down the straight, went past a number of them before they even got into turn 1, but he was very late on the brakes on the outside and swooped around Lachko and, of course, all of the ailing drivers behind that tried to avoid Andre Kurzim. We watch here, though, Jamie Anderson under attack from Clemens Hecker. There's something scraping along the ground off the back of Clemens Hecker's truck and the front. Actually, I think it's all off the front. It's the bodywork that's been dented in at certain points. Norbert Kish has lost a bunch of places here, I think. Looked to me like he was behind Shane Brereton. Oh, no, there he is. Apologies, I got him confused with Thomas Robineau, but now he's behind René Reiner. I only saw the back of the truck for a moment there, the red machine. But now Norbert Kish drops another place. He won't be too chuffed with that, but there's definitely some sort of damage here, and this will do damage to his championship. It means he's not completely running away with it, so for us watching, it's great entertainment to see it shaken up like this. But you can definitely understand that there may be some frustrations from Norbert Kish after this race. Jamie Anderson there. Looks like the front bodywork's missing, actually, that goes over the grille on that number 33 MAN. The grille is completely exposed on that truck. There is an incident between 77 and 14. That's René Reiner and Jose Rodriguez that is under investigation right now. Rodriguez is serving his drive-through penalty. So he's going to drop down the order a good couple of positions at least. I think he will drop down to 13th. Yes, he has, actually. You can see there on the timing tower. Norbert Kish now getting overtaken by Shane Brereton. Whatever the problem is for Norby, it's getting worse and worse as the race goes on. Shane around the outside. Promoters' Cup reigning champion overtakes overall reigning champion. Is it me, or is one of the tyres flat on Norby's truck? Is that what the problem is? Now, don't forget, they have 2 wheels on either side at the rear of these trucks. I think one of those tyres on the back end is down. The very right rear, you can see it, the outside right rear seems to be bobbling around like mad. They can continue without at least one of those tyres and complete the races. We've seen it before. We had drivers last season where they would have big contact, they'd burst a tyre completely, and they were still able to be of some competitive pace. I mean, we've seen Norby defending up to this point. Look at that wonderful rotating shot there from above. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Sasha Lenz crosses the line then and is now 8.1 seconds clear of Antonio Albacete. He is flying. Antonio's going to watch his mirrors, though, because with a few laps left to go, sorry, not Sasha Lenz, Jochen Hahn is closing in on him for second place. A reminder there that all of our trucks are powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel, so while the racing the cleanest this afternoon, in some ways, it is clean racing. There's second place, Antonio Albacete. We can't even see Sasha Lenz from where these guys are. Sasha is very much cleared off into the distance. Teo Calve still under a lot of pressure from Steffi Halm. Steffi wants to make up for yesterday, I imagine, where Teo absolutely belted into the side of her Iveco in the opening stages of race 2. She started right near the front of the grid and unfortunately was caught up in that and thrown off the road. There was a penalty given out for that, but obviously that didn't give Steffi her positions back. And Jose Rodriguez has unfortunately retired from the race. It did show he was in the pit lane for a long time, but he's got a broken brake disc. And there's been confirmation as well that while Sasha Lenz may have led the race at the end of the first lap, by the first corner he was third. It's just amazing. We don't see starts like that very often in the Goodyear FIA ETRC. But look at this. It looks like he's off for just a wonderful countryside drive on his own at the moment here in eastern Italy. Albacete and Hahn right up there as well. And then Teo Calve still defending from Steffi Halm. Anthony Janiak, he's closing in on them a little bit as well. And the number 21, which is Thomas Robineau, is being given a black and orange flag and being warned of black smoke. So he will have to come into the pits, make whatever adjustments necessary. And we're going to quickly nip down to Christina, and she is back in the pit lane for us.
Yes, with José Rodrigues. José, o que é que aconteceu?
Portanto, com a disputa de lugar, partiu-me disco. O aquecimento de travões partiu-me disco.
So you just confirmed that the brake disc has been broken, but you could stop the car. Podia
Era danificar mais alguma coisa e preferi parar, para não estar a estragar mais nada.
So maybe there was something else which was not really correct then. You were heading to the podium, querias ir para o pódio outra vez. Está muito triste. Of course he's devastated.
Não, eu sou realista. A gente quando já não conseguia, não vale a pena.
Obrigado. And he said, I'm the realistic guy. If it's not possible, it is what it is, as Barbara is always saying as well.
That's very true indeed, actually, it is. And it's something I've started saying a lot more often as well. Maybe it's rubbing off on me. But yeah, it's a real shame to see Jose Rodriguez out of the race. But at the end of the day, he's just as realistic as we would be in that situation. If the truck is not safe to continue driving around at racing pace, then, well, I don't think anybody would continue to do so, would they? I think it's safety is of the utmost priority in these situations. You can want to go racing as much as you like, but at the end of the day, if you can't do it in a safe manner, or at least if your equipment isn't then in a safe condition after contact or whatever reason earlier in a race, then nobody would urge you to continue on in that way. So we have completed 11 out of 12 laps. We will be on to the final lap as of now, I believe. Either that or we are just going to go on to it next time round. No, this is the last lap. There we go. It has been confirmed on our timing tower on the left. So Sasha Lenz only has a couple more corners left to go. There you go. There's confirmation as well from our cameraman. Thank you very much indeed. There is confirmation of your race leader. Sasha Lenz continues to fly around here at Misano. His last time was a 2:05.3, 2:05.1 for Jochen Hahn, actually, a 2:05.4 for Antonio Albacete. So Jochen is actually the fastest guy on track right now. Norbert Kish is still out there in 9th position. He's got quite the gap over Jamie Anderson. What a great drive this has been, by the way. by Shane Brayton. Shane Brayton started 15th on the grid, and he's now up into 8th place, second in the Promoters' Cup. That is a really solid drive, and that's what he needed this afternoon. Anthony Janiek and Rene Reiner, they're up there in 6th and 7th place. They started 10th and 11th on the grid as well. Really, really strong progress by some of these guys. Antonio Albacete up to 2nd from 5th. Sasha Lenz, though, what an amazing start he had. You know, 6th to 1st in the first lap, 6th to 3rd by the first corner. This has been one hell of a drive by Sasha Lenz, and a real bit of proof to everybody that he is not just sitting in the back seat in the opening stages of this championship or any stages of this championship. He's here to fight, and he is here to prove to everybody that he is not going to slow down in 2022, and he wants that title just as much as he did last year. He's coming through the final corner now into Curva Misano, turn 16 here at Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. And Sasha Lenz kicks the back end out, drifts much like Norby did earlier, and takes the win in the final race of the day. Beautiful performance by Sasha. A very, very well-deserved victory. And a lot of hard work went into getting T-Sport Benau on the podium this weekend, but Antonio Albacete does it once again. Jochen Hahn finishes 3rd, and Teo Calve takes his 2nd win of the day in the Promoters' Cup. Great performance, 4th overall. Steffi Halm finishes in 5th, ahead of Anthony Janiek. Truck 66 gets P6, and just across the line, that's almost a dead heat there by the look of it, between Rene Reiner and Shane Brayton. Rene just gets 7th place, ahead of Shane in the end, but Shane will still get 2nd in the Promoters' Cup. Norbert Kirsch takes a 9th position finish. Well, his lowest position when he finished a race last year was 8th place at Zolder in race 2. So that is his lowest finish in, well, the 2 seasons that we discussed. But Sasha Lenz takes the win, and he will be very, very relieved after that one, especially with the clutch issues earlier on that we heard him talk about with Christina. Antonio Albacete finishes in 2nd place. Spaniard doing another amazing job this weekend. And Jochen Hahn gets another podium.
Yeah.